Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for a match preview of AC Milan against Fiorentina. Match that will be played tomorrow, February 19th at 8:45 p.m. Italian time at the Stadio San Siro in Milan. A very, very big fixture for both of these teams. Both, once again, competing for Europa League qualifications. And it's going to be a massive one. Really, really important clash between these two teams. The first time we played them this season, the match ended 0-0. In which you guys might recall, we had penalty appeals for Luis Adriano. He was tripped outside the box. Anyways, the match ended 0-0. Milan were a bit lucky to escape from that ground with a point. But this time around, there's no discounts. We need to get the 3 points at all costs. Last time around, we played Lazio. We managed to come back from a losing situation to get that equalizer through Suso. And hopefully, I think that this could play a very critical role in tomorrow's performance for Milan. Once again, should be very motivated that they are a team that always manages to fight back and earn the result. Maybe not the best, the one that they need, but definitely a result that doesn't translate into a losing one. So hopefully we'll see exactly that type of mentality, the mentality that we saw in the last 10 minutes against Lazio. It's going to be a very, very difficult fixture against Fiorentina, but we're going to need the 3 points because the Europa League is slowly getting away from us once again. Atalanta with a big win today against Crotone, 1-0, and that pushes them in 4th place with 48 points. We are currently sitting on 41 points. Inter's in 5th, and they currently hold the last Europa League position at 45 points. So we definitely need a result this week. We need a result against Fiorentina, and they're currently 1 point behind us at the moment. But taking a look at the other fixtures, Inter's playing Bologna, Lazio's playing Empoli. Very favorable matchups for those teams, and we're going to have to really pick out the rabbit out of the hat tomorrow if we want to get anywhere closer to those teams. So let's definitely hope for the best, and let's hope that we will get the result that we need. Now, speaking of which, speaking about players, finally, Kučka and Paletta will both be returning into this game. Of course, they were missing against Lazio due to suspension. Romagnoli will still be out due to injury alongside Mattia De Sciglio and Luca Antonelli. But I'll be getting into the lineups in just a short while. Meanwhile, Milan have only been capable of picking up 7 points out of 21 since the new year in 2017 so far. This 2017, and that's really not good. That's pretty much 7 points out of 7 games. We're currently averaging a point a game in this new year, and it's definitely not good enough. We need to pick up the pace if we want to once again get anywhere near those Europa League positions. Now, last time around, we did see the introduction of the false 9 formation where Deulofeu was playing as the false 9. I think Montella will have other ideas, possibly going back to that 4-3-3 that we're so known to see every week. So let's take a look without further ado to the probable starting 11 for Milan tomorrow. We got Donnarumma in net, Abate, Gustavo Gomez, Paletta, and Vangioni in the defense. Kučka, Sosa, Pasalic in the midfield, Suso, Bacca, and Deulofeu up front. So as you could tell there, the back four, Paletta coming back like I said before, and Zapata won't be playing in this game. Vangioni once again will be getting a start since De Sciglio and Antonelli are still both out due to injuries. Speaking about the midfield, Kučka coming back from that suspension. Jose Sosa, when he came in against Lazio, did very good things, got the winning assist for Suso's goal, and therefore Montella is willing to give him once again another chance to showcase what he's got tomorrow against once again a very, very good team like Fiorentina. And Pasalic as well will be starting on the left instead of Bertolacci or Poli. Poli, of course, he was injured. I'm not really sure if he got called up. I'm going to have to double check that. But Pasalic got the game winner against Bologna. So we got some interesting players in that midfield. Will they be able to get the job done against Fiorentina? We're going to have to wait and see tomorrow. But it's still I'm not fully convinced about this midfield. Kuchka is the ball winner there. Sosa, we've seen him at a good game last time around, but more times than not, he's been a bit disappointing. I just hope that he replicates that performance against Lazio. And Pasalic, even though he's been having a decent season, he still made a lot of mistakes in recent games. Up front, the main question here, or main topic of discussion is, once again, Bacca. Why do we see him in that probable starting 11? Is Montella thinking of putting him, once again, giving him a chance against a strong team like Fiorentina? Definitely, I think he's going to get that chance. Surprising to see not Lapadula instead of Bacca, but you know, these are the type of games that Bacca needs to show up and prove to Montella, if he does in fact play, that he's worth it, that he needs to play at Milan. So we'll see exactly that. Deulofeu and Suso on the wings, no surprise about that. Last time we saw Deulofeu playing in that false 9 and Ocampos playing as a left winger, and obviously that wasn't very good. We saw Ocampos in a very disappointing performance there, so hopefully we'll see a much better job here if Montella actually goes in with Suso, Bacca, and Deulofeu. So let me know your thoughts about that formation, that probable starting 11, in the comments section below. I'll be speaking about it in just a few minutes. Wanted to have a few words on Fiorentina as well. They did win in the midweek fixture in the Europa League against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Personally, I wasn't expecting them to get a result, but Bernardeschi scored an incredible free kick. Luckily for us, he won't be available for selection for the Viola tomorrow due to suspension in the Serie A. So that's one less player that we have to worry about. But speaking about recent results for Fiorentina, last game in the Serie A, they did beat Udinese 3-0. Then before that, they lost against Roma 4-0. And really, it has been a shaky season, just like Milan for Fiorentina. A very... a team that's just incapable of getting straight wins. Very insufficient most of the time. The defense has been pretty lackluster for Fiorentina, and I think this is definitely one of the points of discussions that many people will be making. Will Milan be able to filter through that defense, especially playing at the San Siro? I believe so. They usually play a pretty tight formation. Now, I don't necessarily recall what type of formation they play, but it's not a 4-3-3 from what I remember. They do change it from time to time. Sometimes they go with 3 at the back, sometimes they go with 4 at the back, but definitely they have a very solidified midfield there that could cause problems to Milan in terms of breaking through and creating chances on net. Hopefully we won't be too predictable from those wings. Hopefully we'll be able to see something different, more ideas, just like we were seeing in those last maybe 5 to 10 minutes for Milan. Last game, as we all know, for 80 minutes we weren't capable of finding any real solution to a shot on target, but then those last 10 minutes when Jose Sosa came in, things changed, and I'm hoping that things will be exactly like that tomorrow against the Viola. But let me know your thoughts in general form in the comment section. Very curious to see what you guys think about the probable starting 11. What do you think about Bacca possibly getting a start once again? I saw him on the bench last game. He wasn't very happy. He was pretty disappointed. Almost looked like he wanted to cry. But yesterday he did offer the team a whole supper. I don't know if you guys kept up with that on social media, but once again, I don't know about this decision from Montella. I don't think he has really proven to get the best out of him, if you know what I'm saying, in recent games. And I don't know why he just doesn't go with Lapadula, a guy that is more hungry than Bacca. Also, Deulofeu playing as that false 9 could be another option. I saw him a very hungry Deulofeu last game, where he was chasing balls, was chasing the players, and oftentimes that led to the opponents making mistakes, something that we don't see from Bacca. So we'll see exactly what that will translate into. I definitely hope that Bacca, even if he plays, is capable of doing good things, because he was really disappointing since the start of 2017. He's got a few goals, but his performances and the way that he approaches these games are very lackluster and very, just not desirable at all. But let's see what you guys have to say in the comments. It's ACM says, if Milan doesn't win tomorrow, it will be an absolute upset as Fiorentina will test some players because of their Europa League game. Speaking of which, I'm going to take a look exactly at the Fiorentina lineup because I don't really recall who they will be fielding, but I guess most players will actually be starting for Fiorentina. From what I remember, I saw guys like Bade over there, Kalinic, Borja Valero, Ilicic. So most players will be starting there. I think guys like maybe Chiesa, Maxi Oliveira don't get too many games. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a pretty decent lineup. I mean, I think most of the players do get regular minutes, so I don't really see this as a provisional side or a side that's been alternated in many views. Giuliano says, ciao Gio, sorry for being late. No problem, I'm just happy that you're in. Aniket says, I'd stick with the strident of attack. If Bacca starts playing like he did last season, it will be really hard to contain. Each is characteristically different. Yes, but Bacca has been giving lots of chances this season, and unfortunately he hasn't been really proving himself so far as respect to what he's shown last season. I hope he changes his attitude, but I remember against, I think it was against Bologna, you know, he came off rightfully so, and last game he didn't play. So I don't know what to expect of him, to be honest. I just hope that if he does play, he will finally, you know, score some goals and actually play well. Clayton says, Gio, I think the problem for Bacca is the formation, as Sevilla used to play a 4-2-3-1, and maybe if we test this formation, it could be his ideal one. Personally, I don't think that we should be changing the formation for one player. It's not like he's the king of Europe here. We're speaking about a normal player. We shouldn't be changing a formation. I've always said it over and over again. We shouldn't be changing the formation based on one player. You know, we have to find a formation that fits most of our players or all of our players. Right now, a lot of players in this 4-3-3, I personally don't see them fitting in. But at the same time, it's not the formation for Bacca. It's definitely not the system for Bacca. But, you know, if you really take a look at it, personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't think that a change of formation would really benefit Bacca in the long run. I just, you know, it's just the desire out there from Bacca that's really lacking, and it's giving me those vibes that he just, you know, doesn't really care or doesn't put all his effort into his performances. I don't think it really has anything to do with the formation in terms of how he plays. Sky reporting that Pasalic will be starting. Yes, I did mention that already. Aniket says, Gio, I'm happy that Paletta is starting with Romagnoli missing. He will be playing on the left. He can stabilize Vangioni's defense. Yeah, Vangioni hasn't been too great in terms of defense, but he's shown very good signals from what I've seen in recent games. I'm happy with his performances, even though, like you said, defensively, he was a bit out of position at times. He could have done a bit better, but I think with more time given to him, more playing time, I think he will get the job done quite well. So we'll definitely see Paletta being able to help out Vangioni whenever needed there, and that could be a very good sign. Geek 101 says, prediction 2-0 Milan. I think we're finally beginning to regain our form, and I think we'll get a win tomorrow. Goals from Suso, and perhaps a first goal for Deulofeu. I definitely hope so. Deulofeu still hasn't scored a goal, but he's assisted, let's recall, Pasalic's goal against Bologna. Triple D 888 says, salute me please, I'm Italian. Well, there you go. Hello, ciao. MBR Football says, what are Florence or Fiorentina's weaknesses which we could exploit? Definitely their defense. You know, they conceded 33 goals so far this Serie A campaign. They let in 4 goals against Roma. They've done a bit better recently where they've beaten Udinese 3-0, and they've beaten also Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-0. So they were capable of keeping a clean sheet in their last 2 games. I don't think they could go for a third one. I definitely think that Milan will be scoring tomorrow. But at the same time, we're definitely going to need to exploit their defense. I think if I had to choose one of the departments in which they really lack in, I would have to say the defense. The midfield, the forwards are pretty strong at Fiorentina. They definitely get the job done. They score more goals than Milan, that's for sure. But defensively, I think that's definitely the area we need to exploit. Y says, I'm glad that Vanjoni is starting and Sosa starting is a good option as Locatelli probably needs a rest. More than a rest, I don't think Locatelli definitely needs a rest, because if you saw the recent games, last game against Lazio, he played, I think it was 45 minutes or 50 minutes max. We saw him getting sacrificed due to the red cards and injuries against Bologna. He only played 45 minutes there. So it's not really about giving him a rest. I think it's all about giving him an option to, sit down, kind of think about his performances, and play better overall. Because really, I haven't seen much from Locatelli in these recent games. I know the performances from the whole team haven't been good, but I was expecting a bit more from Locatelli. There's definitely a lot of pressure on the kid. Maybe he needs a few games to rest and, take a bit of that pressure off him. But hopefully, Jose Sosa will be able to fulfill his shoes and have a positive performance once again, just like we saw last game. Petrit says, Bacca is a really good goal scorer. If he gets into the right positions, he can be really dangerous with Deulofeu and Suso on the wings. I fully agree with that. And like you said, if he gets into those right positions, he can be really dangerous. Hif is the big one there, because every time I just see him being a static player, not moving around a lot, just waiting for the ball in areas where he's really covered. He's got 2 or 3 guys on him at times. And whenever he does receive the ball, he's incapable of turning around, dribbling past players, always loses the ball in his feet. So, simply speaking, he needs to find better spaces himself. It's not just about the team revolving around him, the wings doing a lot of work for Bacca, giving him the passes. He needs to find those open spaces as well. That's what really makes a good striker or a good poacher. Finding those spaces, reading the crosses, reading the intentions of your teammates, and ultimately putting that ball in the back of the net. Aniket says, Gio, don't you think Sosa starting as the regista could put pressure on the defense, especially if Fiorentina play a heavy midfield with all the playmakers? Yeah, I could put pressure on the defense, but if you look at the options we have, we don't have many. And at the moment, I think Jose Sosa could still do a quite good job in helping out the defense. I remember the game against Napoli. I think in the first half, he was making a lot of mistakes, but he was definitely helping out a bit the defense. Obviously, in those opening 10 minutes, we conceded 2 goals, but later on into that first half, I saw him making a lot of crucial tackles. I just hope that he's capable of playing both defensively and offensively tomorrow, as we were going to really need him in that position. Moving on to some more questions or comments. Juan Valdez says, if Milan win tomorrow, I will run outside in my boxers. Please don't show us that video. Abdul also says, Fiorentina were traveling this whole week and barely had time to prepare for Milan. Seeing as Atalanta and Lazio will win their games today, we must win at all costs. That could definitely play a factor. Like I said before, Fiorentina did have a midweek fixture against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Europa League. So hopefully that will play a part in the fatigue. But yeah, definitely Milan had more time to prepare for this fixture than Fiorentina did. And hopefully that will benefit us in this game. Lagarto27 says, it's time to be real. Locatelli is not good. Apart from the 2 goals, he has done nothing, while Sosa was a Fenerbahce beast with experience that could really create a lot for us. I think besides the goals that Locatelli scored, he's had some decent performances, let's be honest. But in 2017, I'm going to be honest to say that Locatelli wasn't the player that we saw at the beginning of the season, wasn't the player that we saw in 2016. he was a different player. I don't know if it's the pressure coming to him or the team performances, which haven't been good in general. It's not really been only him the problem, but just the team in general that has been very lackluster in finishing chances, creating plays, and so forth. But Locatelli needs a rest, whether it's for fatigue, which I don't think so. Like I said before, he hasn't been playing too much in these recent games. Locatelli just needs to sit down, relax, and take some pressure off of him, because I think that's really what's affecting his gameplay or game style at the moment. Lagarto also says Fiorentina is that type of team that they either play bad or they surprise us with an excellent performance, but I'm so confident coming into this match. I'm pretty confident as well. I think we could definitely get a result here. Like I said before, when we were playing Fiorentina away from home, we actually tied them 0-0, and we actually had a very, very good chance where Luis Adriano got tripped or something at the end of the match. I don't know if you guys recall that, but we did have a free kick that wasn't given to Milan right at the end of that match. Who knows, that free kick could have put in the back of the net. We could have won that match. But, you know, I still think that we're capable of getting a result against Fiorentina. Definitely their midfield is better. Definitely their attack could be better than Milan's, even though I think that Milan's attack, you know, we have strength as well through Deulofeu and Suso. But yeah, we need to exploit their defense. I think that's definitely their weak point. Let's see if you guys have any more comments before I sign off. DJ Ram says Bacca is slow. That's his issue, and he knows that he is getting old quick. He can't move. If you saw Cavani's goal against Barca, you would understand. I don't think it's about him getting old, to be honest. There's guys way older than him that I see running. You know, it's not about a question of being old. It's a question of really being lazy, in my opinion. He's fast. Like, I saw Bacca being fast at times. I know that he's capable of using his speed. Maybe he's not the fastest of players, but I know he's capable of having a few decent sprints down the middle or wherever he is on the pitch. The real thing that I want to say is that more times than not, I see him like a very lazy player. You know, he gets the ball, loses it very fast, doesn't make movements, just waits for the ball to come to him and then loses it. You can't have a player like that that's worth, or we paid for 30 million and he's having those type of performances at Milan. You know, you just cannot have that at all. Yes, the game is at the San Siro. Anika says, Gio, I read that Bertolacci will replace Pasalic in the midfield. I believe Pasalic is tired after playing a lot recently. I'd play Bertolacci. Initially, those were the reports. Bertolacci starting, but the most recent reports, the most recent updates are actually saying that Pasalic will be getting the start instead. We'll see exactly what happens tomorrow. Ed Alfigo says, we never let more than 2 goals at the San Siro. And the one time we did, we won. Yeah, that was exactly against Sassuolo. And also, remember last time we played Fiorentina last season, we actually beat them 2-0 at home at the San Siro. And if you guys recall the score, it was actually Kevin Prince Boateng. I know it's pretty funny, but I remember that game like it was yesterday. And yeah, it was Boateng scoring there. Caleb says, Primavera players called up for tomorrow. Yes, there are 2 players. Well, there's Zucchetti and Cutrone, but Cutrone is known as a senior team player now after Luis Adriano left, so I wouldn't really consider him as a Primavera. Well, he still plays for them, but still. But the other name is Zucchetti in the defense. So in those last few minutes, guys, just let me know your predictions in the comment section. I'll be reading them out. Mike Davenport says Deulofeu needs to run at the defense and not just pass back. I hope he does well, creates some good golden opportunities. Lagarto says prediction 3-0 for Milan, Sosa and 2 goals from Bacca. Very, very ambitious there. Jonathan Alda says, do you know anything about Donnarumma? There have been no updates considering Donnarumma's contract. As soon as they are, rest assured, we will be talking about them. Sultan Menzuma says Bacca simply has different styles of play. At Sevilla, he was surrounded by playmakers. He may seem lazy, but his strength is when he's in the box. I agree he's been lackluster, but it's different styles of play. And I definitely agree over the fact that it's different styles of play. 100%. But even when he's in the box, you know, he just doesn't seem to find those absolute perfect points to score goals. You guys could recall in that game against the Supercoppa against Juventus, how many chances did he have in front of the box or in front of the net? He was like a meter, 2 meters away from the net, and he couldn't put it in the back of the net. That's the type of thing that I'm trying to say at the moment. I don't know why he's having these issues, but it's exactly what Bacca is going through at the moment. 2-1 for Milan, says Abdul. MPR Football also says 2-1. YY says 1-0 for Milan. Aniket says 2-1 for Milan. Wadani says 4-1 for Fiorentina. Liban says 1-0 for Milan. A lot of you guys are saying Milan wins. I still think that we could get a result here. Anything less will be a huge disappointment. Not for the fact that we are playing Fiorentina, because they are a very strong team, but the disappointment that, you know, Europa League will be really, really fading away. And it will, I'm not saying it will probably be, but there's a good chance that we could be without Europe for yet another season. DJ Ram says Milan has no chance against a team that plays the same style but even better. I agree, but I also disagree. We tied Fiorentina 0-0 at their home ground. Why aren't we capable of getting a win at the San Siro? Fiorentina, yes, they're a good team on their good days, but they're very, very inconsistent. And we saw it with recent results. 4-0 loss to Roma, 3-0 win to Udinese. You know, you can't have inconsistency like that if you're a very good team. So even though Fiorentina could be a better team than Milan, which I'm not disagreeing at all, I think that we can still catch them on our good day and get a result here. Fiorentina is a team that could play very, very well or very, very poor. So hopefully they'll be playing the latter tomorrow and we will be getting the win at the San Siro. Without further ado, guys, thank you for joining me on this match preview. Thank you for all your questions, your predictions. Just a few announcements before I do sign off. Of course, tomorrow there will be the live stream watch along in which you guys could discuss with me your comments, your thoughts throughout the game. Let me know all of that. That will be taking place 30 minutes before kickoff tomorrow up until the end of the match. Of course, we'll be having a pre-match. You guys could talk or call us in on Skype at halftime and after the match in the match review. So all of that will be taking place starting 30 minutes before kickoff, which, by the way, is at 8:45 p.m. Italian time at the San Siro. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, there's an option that you guys could donate if you guys enjoy the content, if you guys just want to support the channel in general. And to do that, you have to click on the money sign that's right under where you type in the comment. If you don't see that money sign, it means that you're not in an eligible country to donate. But if you are in one of those countries and you are considering to donate and help out the channel, you can do that by donating anything you want. Your name will be appearing in a scroll bar right below, as you can see at the very moment. So it's up to you if you guys want to donate and help out the channel. It will definitely improve the quality of the videos. We spend a lot of time making the videos and preparing them. So if you want to give back to the channel, this is your opportunity to do so. On that note, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything going on at AC Milan on a daily basis. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the Milan-Fiorentina match. This has been Gio signing off, and as always, Forza Milan!